Alrighty, here we go. Here we go. This is a little bit of DCSS. It's Soup Sunday. I have done what I have never done ever in the history of this channel, which I have set a streaming schedule. So now I will be publicly shamed if I don't stick to it. Hey, Chadleywick, what's up, man? He's a good streamer. You guys should check him out. He is a cool guy. He doesn't think Roseman bad. And he has played some DCSS, so you probably like his content. Take this off, take that off, take it all off. Yeah, take off everything. Anyway, take off every zig. Actually, we're doing Ziggurats today, but more about that in a second. I decided that my life needs just a little more structure, and one of those things is going to be a streaming schedule. How's it that you weren't following? Probably because I haven't streamed in way too long, and you never got a chance to. So this is just the opening salvo in the organizing my schedule and giving myself some sort of, I guess you could say, public accountability for doing that. So 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you know, the end of that is going to wiggle a bit. Could be longer. Probably won't be shorter usually, but it could linger a little longer depending on what I'm doing. But it's going to be Soup Sundays. We'll play DCSS. We'll play other forks of Lindley's Dungeon Crawl. We will just have a grand old time. I'm planning on doing I guess you could call it a podcast. I'm going to, at least once a week, I'm going to go into the little just chatting category on Twitch. And I'm going to invite someone from my Discord, maybe multiple someones, people who can be trusted not to just like scream racial slurs into the mic and get me banned, of course. But we'll talk about politics as much as this awful platform will allow. We'll talk about current events, perhaps even crawl drama. We can have a little bit of crawl drama as a treat. Hello, Leon. Welcome to the stream. No, not the politics. Well, that's for later. You're in the right stream for just gaming today. These are just future plans. Do I dare click this button? One new message. I don't think I dare click this button. That could be something bad. Anyway, so what are we doing today? This is mainline DCSS. The most, I guess, well-known fork of Lindley's Dungeon Crawl. We're going to try to shake the meta. We're not going to do it Leo Littlebook style. We're going to actually play. This is not the streak account. This is Malcolm Rose Turney. Nobody bribed me to play my streaks. That's still a special. That's like the most special of treats that you have to pay me lots of money for. Soup Sundays, I guess, might be preempted whenever somebody pays me, but otherwise it's just going to be us kind of having a grand old time fooling around. And this is what I want to do. Recently, I read that the Ziggurat world record was around 201, and the man running that account actually retired his game finally. And so the history of it is that you would, typically what was considered to be best for doing as many Ziggurats as possible. And for those who don't know, Ziggurats, you can do infinite numbers of them. It's like sort of a mini dungeon. And it gets harder each time you do one. Thank you, Turbo. So the meta back in the day, which has proceeded to today, is that you're supposed to probably play a Demonspawn, which I think is still correct. The reason for this is because there's this thing called Powered by Death, which is outrageously good. It basically, every time you defeat an enemy, you gain HP. Now, later that was nerfed to become every time you defeat an enemy, you gain like a regeneration effect. It's not as good as it used to be, still quite powerful. Hey Raga, what's up, man? The cosplay man himself. Now we gotta talk about the drama. No, I'm just kidding. Leon, I don't let people pay me for specific combos on the streak. I can't do it. But Powered by Death is good. I would say that against conventional wisdom, the mana shield thing is probably good, just to kind of give you a little more wiggle room in terms of horrible things happening. I would say that Thorns is probably good. I would say if you get Monstrous, it's time to control Q and start a new character. What else? It's just too many slots stolen from you. I would probably, if I had my pick of the litter, I would want the Boots mutation, the one that gives you talons, because then you don't lose out on your hat for, you know, you could get like, what do you call it, the Hat of the Alchemist to get your resistances squared away. So you really don't want horns. you probably, let's see, what else? I don't know, you probably just want Talons if you have to pick one. You do have to give up one slot as a Demonspawn. But the most important thing is Powered by Death. There's a new slot you can get, Big Brain, that doesn't take a slot. The item that gives you an extra thing. Well, we're playing in, I want to be clear, we're not playing in Trunk, we're playing in 0.32, because I wanted to do this on a stable version of the game. Because this is the first version of the game where my new meta idea comes into play. Now, as far as background, the only reason you would really care about background, I guess, would be your starting stats. But you can fool around with that as you level up, so I'm not real concerned about that. I mean, obviously I know how to win a game, so I don't need to make my early game super easy. Let's just, why don't we... Do we want to just play an Artificer, perhaps? Wait, did they take away Artificer? Oh, it's up there. I guess I could make my life real easy by just playing an Artificer and having a grand old time that way. Or we could try to spell something cool. DSAR, DSHS. You can't really spell anything with the DS. It's not like a Coglin Chaos Knight, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of want a lot of intelligence. We could just do a DSSU. Let's just do Artificer, make my life easy. Alright, Malcolm Rose tourney, not the Malcolm Rose account, not the Streak account. You have a 51 Ziggurat character, Powered by Death, Powered by Pain, and Robust. Yeah, there you go. So there's the combo you want. Powered by Pain is quite good. Robust, obviously, if you can take 30% extra HP, you're going to get it. So here are my theories, and we're just going to play, I guess, while I'm talking about them, and I'm going to play a little more fast and loose than I usually do, because guess what? I'm not streaking. I don't have to be careful. Take fighting up. No, I'll take stealth up. Doing streak stuff. You'd rather have Mana Shield than Powered by Pain? Yeah, maybe. I think you might be right on that one. On the other hand, my theory is that, well, Powered by Pain gives you what? It gives you, like, agility and might sometimes. Oh, wow, this would be bad on a streak. Yeah, buddy. We have to... Well, not really. I'm playing a Artificer. Yeah, magic regen is nice. But the Powered by Pain thing is like, I guess it doesn't haste you, so it doesn't matter. But my theory is we're going to be in Lich form all the time anyway, because it's like we're vulnerable to Holy either way, so we might as well be, we might as well. Gozag will have you permabuffed. Well, that's when we start getting into my new theory. I don't think Gozag is the best for Ziggurats anymore. The old meta... Oh, nice. The old meta was to play a Mockleb character, and it was pretty obvious why. You heal when you kill enemies. You know, you've got a lot of enemies to fight in a Ziggurat, so you're constantly healing. Well, why not? I think if this was a streak, I would not be fighting these endoplasms. Well, I would, because I'm an Artificer. So that was the old way. And to deal with silence, you would simply use something called a Disc of Storms. And that would be like an evocable that would let you do all kinds of really gross, powerful lightning damage to everybody without needing to cast a spell. We have Powered by Pain, I guess. Right? Is that Powered by Pain? Yeah, Powered by Pain. It's a good start, I suppose. Yeah, Leon, kind of. So here's the thing. People switched to using... I'm going to give the full history. People switched to using Gozag. There was this guy named Pig in a Bag who discovered that in the version of Trunk that he was playing, basically the Gozag distraction effect was outrageously powerful because it would kind of scale endlessly. And it would... The more enemies that were on the screen that died, the more things would be distracted. And essentially it would, like, paralyze the whole screen. Now, this got nerfed once the devs realized that it was a little more powerful than it was meant to be. Wow, nice book. So, people still kind of thought, I think, that Gozag, probably Gozag still was the most powerful for a Ziggurat, because that distraction thing is just great. So, Leon has kind of hinted at part of what my idea is. Mockleb got revamped recently. And so the new Mockleb still has heal on kill, which I think has been buffed a little bit, actually. But it also has these things called marks that you get at top piety. Obviously, I'm not taking the I'm not taking the Fated Altar. So it has these things called marks that you get once you get to the capstone, and it's like, I think there's like 10 of them, and you you get a pick of like 3. So there's a little RNG involved. There are 2 that I'm interested in, and one is the one that Leon said. It's called Mark of Hemoclasm, and what it does is every time you defeat an enemy, there is a small chance that it will explode in like a shower of gore, like when you used to be able to use disintegrate on enemies to blow them up, and it will do damage to everything around that enemy based on that enemy's max HP. So kind of like a corpse explosion, I suppose you could say. But the trick is that if anything dies to the gore explosion, then that thing will suffer its own gore explosion. So you can imagine there'd be a really nice chain reaction happening here. We're going to get intelligence because we're going to be a spellcaster. What's our evocations, like 3? Yeah, that's good. So that's one idea I have. Yes, play the new Mokleb, use Hemoclasm, then like do a little bit of damage, defeat like one thing, hope it comes into play. But the problem is with that is, if LearnDB is not lying to me, we should identify stuff. If LearnDB is not lying to me, then the problem with Hemoclasm is there's only a small chance for the first one to trigger. So I need something a little more reliable than that. The problem is if I land on a silence floor and I'm there in my Lich form and I can't cast any of my spells and I've just got to melee and hope for the best, really bad things could happen really fast. I will be at the exactly, yes, so that's why we got these soup Sundays. I'll control Q and we'll wait until we get the perfect Demonspawn. Although I have a theory that maybe it's possible to... Am I even being stupid right now? Yeah, he does a lot of damage, but I'm beefy. I'm caked up on this character already. So I have a theory that you can maybe stop worshipping Mokleb, deal with the Wrath, and then like get to dice roll your capstone again. But I don't know how that works. I don't know if I just made that up. I do know that if I were to roll like really good Demonspawn mutations, I will at least give it a shot and see if that's possible. Trident of Freezing, that's pretty good. Should we just be the Polearm Man for a while? Let's see. Base attack delay 1.3. I guess we could take it to 6, and that would get us through the early game. It's kind of a crappy weapon. I mean, it's good, but... Oh, hello. Oh, hi, Mark. So the other capstone is the one I'm more interested in, yes. And I bet you can guess what it is. Leon seems to know what he's talking about. Hemoclasm is not the thing I'm most excited about testing. I am most excited about testing something called the Mark of the Celebrant. This is my new Ziggurat theory. So, can I look this up? Nope. I thought it would be under ability, but passive? Nope. Mark of the Celibate. Yeah, no sex allowed. So, Mark of the Celebrant does this little thing, and I'm just going to recite this from memory. The idea is that if you go to 50% HP at any moment, you... Oh my god, I gotta dodge these fellas. Can I melee this guy? It's a little early for me to be fighting a whole pack of orcs. I guess I can just... Yeah, I mean, it would be fine if I trained a weapon skill. It's just... I'm doing stupid stuff. How much damage do you do? 6. Okay, fine. If this is a street game, this would be insanely dumb. But it's not, so I can play stupidly. It's fine. We'll put on the chainmail. We'll... Hey, thank you for the sub, Jackknife. I appreciate it. My friend. Demon Boy become Demon Man. We still have Powered by Pain level 1, so no new powers just yet. I think I'll... I'm being a little silly about my training. I think I will take fighting to 4, and then we'll just... Oh, man. You know what? I'll go ahead and use the trident. What am I doing?
Come on, college boy.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad Lewick. I appreciate that. My friend, enjoy my very loud alerts. I don't think we've missed anything here. Alright, so... Yeah, Celebrant does this thing. You go to 50% HP, and the result is that it attacks everybody in range with this, like, wacky blood spear thing. And I don't know what in range means. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that means the whole screen. I don't know if that means, like, 2-3 tiles away from me. I do know that's an adder, and it makes me sad. Ooh, we could be a cheesy boy. No, we can't. I'm gonna swing, and yeah, alright, it worked out for me. Your blood heats up. That's an interesting one. Does that mean I'm cucked out of Powered by Death? Because I don't remember how the Demonspawn mutations work. I know that Ignite Blood... actually, I guess it's a passive. Can I really not look this up in the game? Oh, that's dumb. Oh, Mark of the Fanatic. No, I'm not super interested in Fanatic. That's a cool it's a cool ability. It's like, it's awesome. It's just not like, I don't think it's useful for doing Ziggurats. Super cool ability though.
Yeah.
Hello, said no one.
You fucking no-brain pussy. Fuck you.
I'm trying to get out of that persona. I'm no longer Roseman mad. I'm Roseman glad. You know, I'm trying to be a kinder, gentler Roseman. And yeah, we can see that Ignite Blood is pretty sick. I sure hope I have Powered by Death. I don't know how, it's like, there's Demonspawn mutation slots, so I don't remember. Oh, are we immune? I think we're immune to Fire Clouds now. Hello, Sigmund. So this is not a streak game, but I'm gonna play like it is. What's the optimal thing to do about Sigmund? Well, I'm just kidding. If it was a streak game, I'd probably blink away. Because it's not a streak game. No Powered by Death for this character. Huh. Huh. So do we, Malcolm got bought by the feds. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Huh. I guess, do we think that Powered by Death is the only way, or is the best way? I don't think it is. I don't think it's required to do what I want to do. I do think it makes life a whole lot easier, particularly if you're doing Gozag. With Mokleb, we're already going to have the healing is the thing. So in a sense, I almost wonder if Ignite Blood would be better, because it's going to cause sort of chain reactions. Every piece of blood will become a blood cloud. I don't remember. Demon Form for Harm was the start. No, I think Celebrant is the way. Until you run it. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the whole screen being filled. We're gonna go for the record on this. We're gonna give it a shot, but I'm trying to rework the meta here. I'm trying to go back from Gozag into Mokleb, which I think makes Powered by Death less required. I'll tell you what, why don't we just stick with it? And as long as we don't get something that really truly ruins the character, you know, we'll just see how far we can take it. Because I don't want to like bore you guys by switching characters 17 times. Let's just play each Demonspawn out to max level Mokleb, and if it's not like ideal mutations, and we don't get the mark that we want to test, how to get mana? Well, I have a theory that we don't need mana. Because I have this theory that Celebrant is just so broken that I don't, I mean, so like you go to 50% HP, it hits a bunch of stuff on the screen, and then it doesn't trigger again until you go back to full HP. But as in a Ziggurat, I should hit so many goddamn things that my HP should go back to max immediately. I'm going to play a little risky here. Okay, Ice Blast did the job. This is why Artificers are just the best damn start in the game. That's my theory, Leon. Yeah, and I want to test it. I think it's just so strong that I will not even need spells. But I'll tell you something. I think in like the worst case scenario where I land on a floor where I'm getting hit like immediately by like a million angels with holy weapons and smites on the whole screen and blah 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 blah. I think in that scenario, having robust 3 is going to be way more important than having powered by death. That's my theory. This is another reason why having freeze right off the bat is actually quite good, because it slows down adders. Am I planning on going axes? Well, we're gonna have like 27s in all of our skills by the end of this, so it's either gonna be broadaxe per the usual, or it is going to be it's gonna specifically be the unrand known as the autumn katana, because we're going to be using folded Japanese steel that has been folded 1,000 times. Because I have a theory that, and I feel like I tried this once and it was kind of underwhelming, but I suspect that with this specific strategy, the automatic manifold assault might be pretty good. Oh no! Yeah, if we were on a streak, we wouldn't have opened that door. Yeah, buddy. Your favorite build? It's a fun build. It's even when it doesn't feel optimal, it's always fun. I would say as this Artificer, we've got strength, so and the ancient meme of using Jivia to fix your stats doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know. Okay, normally I would not fight this dude, and this time I won't fight this dude because he went invisible. He chose to roll me. I don't really fear a single priest, do I? Let's take him up just to be safe. Damn! I mean, that Ignite Blood is so strong in the early game. You hit somebody once and like, boom, they get a flame cloud on them. Like, I probably could just be tabbing everything at this point. People underestimate exactly how busted Demonspawn mutations really are. Thorns in the early game is insane. Ignite Blood in the early game is insane. I feel like most of the time you are given some kind of just completely cracked ability. Ooh. I saw that happening and I did nothing to stop it. It feels good to be able to play recklessly. Cleared this week 9 and... Oh, you doing the cosplay thing? Getting vaporized by holy stuff? I'd say that, and also silence floors are just always scary. But yeah, getting vaporized by holy, I think we do need robust. Live fast, die funnily. That is a DCSS thing. Orin, I thought you were Onirical instead of Orin just now. Dagger of Venom. What do we do? Do we just stick with this horrible polearm play? I think we probably do. Polearms are still strength-based, are they not? And we have like 1,000,000 strength for some reason, so... I don't see it yet, strength. And then, well, Flail is strength as well, and Draining is an incredibly good brand. But I like reaching, so, whatever. Yeah, the Guardian is a funny one. Bails you out. But yeah, let's just go pick up Mokleb, get to, you know, max it out, see what happens for us. How bad could it be? You hear the hiss of flowing sand. Oh. Yeah, unban he. Dude, Onirical, props to him. He's not a bad guy. He tried, he got harassed and bullied and mistreated for doing the old college try. This is a teleport, so hey, I left you. Well, people yelled at him and they hated him for what he did, but he's a good guy and he gave me a chance, and they metaphorically crucified him for it. So, well, did you not remember what? Are you not aware of what happened? They made him a mod of the DCSS subreddit, and then he immediately tried to do the right thing, which is unban me. And he didn't just do it on a whim. He talked to me first, and he was like, "Listen, you have to be a good boy," and I was like, "All right." I will only talk about the game. I will not get involved with anybody, no matter how much of a prick they are to me in terms of like an argument. And I even like removed the vaguely insulting things on my website as a show of good faith. And then like 2 minutes later, they unmodded him and rebanned me because they hate me that much. And so after that, people have been yelling at Oniracle about it, as though they didn't ban him. However, they did ban Raga for mentioning me a few times. Raga is the guy who runs the Crawl Cosplay Challenge tournaments. So basically, this is what happens when pathological narcissists become moderators in internet spaces. It's like hiring a monkey to guard the banana chamber. You know exactly what's going to happen to those bananas. It's pretty obvious to everybody, right? Hey, Raga, what's up? What's it like to suffer for my sins? We've run into Minkare, who is a real spooky guy. Nope, they banned him. They started by blacklisting his postings, and now he is banned, both from Tavern and from the sub, because the biggest pathological narcissist I've ever met in my whole life, not just on the internet, but anywhere, was recently made a mod on our DCSS, so it's... Let me just hydrate here during my... The rants make me thirsty. But yeah, it's nutty. It's fine. We're going to bypass that. We're going to build a community that, you know, is a little more welcoming, a little more... just a little more focused on the game and less on drama. And if this is the hill that they choose, then fine. I will do everything in my power to dethrone these people and get them off of Nerd Mountain and sort of give Raga a chance to be a community manager for all of the forks of Lenley's Dungeon Crawl. Because he's a decent guy. Unlike me, he is not terribly confrontational. I think very highly of myself, but I know my weaknesses. I am aware that I'm a controversial figure. Raga is not. He's kind of one of the people that I would say is like an ideal guy to be spearheading this effort, because try as they might to demonize him, it's real hard to do that because he's not a jerk. I will admit I can be a real jerk, but you can't really slander Raga. It's not really possible. You come across like a real prick if you try to. What do I want to do about... What do I want to do about Minkare? I'm just sitting here chatting like, there's no Minkare here. It's not a streak. I don't need to be too careful. I've got the Wand of Flame. Let's just... Oh no, he hasted! Wand of Flame and pray. You know, I'm actually going to Ice Blast. He certainly is RC+, but it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. I would never have done that on a streak. I think I would have just kept walking towards the staircase or something. Dude, this is... What are all these imps doing? This is not an ice cave floor. Your fingernails length... Okay, we got claws. That's not bad. That means we don't lose a slot, right? No, it's not my tourney account. Yeah, that... Oh, I lose glove. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little rusty. I'm not thinking straight. Are there any gloves I care about? Not really. There's no like unrand gloves that I care about. It also means that we could just do unarmed for a while. We've got like troll power. I would never fight this thing on a streak. You're RC minus, aren't you? Oh, you're not. Rose, it's Malcolm Rose tourney, not Malcolm Rose, so it's not my streak account. It's one of the best ones. Yeah, I would say gloves or... God, this is such an early water moccasin. Antenna? No, I don't want antenna because that takes away hat, and I am going to want probably Hat of the Alchemist, am I not? Although Sinv is kind of like gaining a slot back, so I could see your logic there. Snare evasion is 7. Slow hiss of a very distant avalanche of sand. You know what? We're going far away. You hear the hiss of flowing sand. It might be close to us. They will try to demonize you just for being guilty by association. But the thing is, you have not you really have not endorsed me. You have simply not hated me. I think I would like to say that it is a tough sell to destroy someone by association unless you're already like a rabid ideologue, like zealot type person for a cause. Like, I think that behavior looks completely insane to normal people. I don't think it works, you know? I just don't. I think it's a tough sell to get people to go along with your crazy unpersoning campaign to the extent that you will ban someone for simply not banning someone else from a online space like a Discord or whatever. To this day, these people they refuse to explain why it is that I should be banned from everything. They'll accuse me of all kinds of sins, but they never offer any proof, because as far as I can tell, it doesn't exist. Raga hasn't banned you, therefore it's tacit approval of your action. Yeah, right. I don't know. It's these people are they're just not very honest, and they're not very stable. And I think that this is finally an opportunity to sort of demonstrate that to the crawl community in such a way. Because, like, I tell you, I know I'm known for drama or whatever, but the fact is I'm not really that interested anymore. I would really rather build something. It's one of the reasons why I have been contributing to the crawl cosplay sort of tech problems, like getting SSL for their new website and fixing a veritable mountain of PHP issues. You know, because I would rather build something productive, do something generative, make something, than deal with these clowns who seem to be a lot more interested in sort of controlling people and controlling social spaces than running a game or developing a game. Like, there's really only one dev for mainline. I don't think I'm even going to call it mainline anymore, but there's really only one dev who's doing anything remotely interesting these days. And surprise, it doesn't seem to be one of the people involved in all of this community drama. Having been restricted from posting any crawl cosplay link in Arl's Discord. Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that, and I saw that you were banned from the subreddit, which is just insanity. Stone Soup instead of mainline. Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, ultimately, it is just a fork. I mean, I think I'm getting behind Raga on this concept that it is merely a fork of Linley's Dungeon Crawl. These people didn't invent the game. They're just a pack of really unpleasant, authoritarian nerds who were in the right place at the right time, and now they have the keys to a GitHub, to a Git repository. That's all it is. These people are not like the arbiters of DCSS. They don't get to control who is the community manager or who is a developer. I could call myself the head dev of DCSS, and I would have just as much claim to say it as anybody who happens to have commit access on a particular Git repo. Or more appropriately, somebody like BH Auth could call himself that, and I would say it would actually be more accurate in terms of fidelity to maybe Linley's vision or to what DCSS used to be like. So I think there's a lot of power in language. I think it's very difficult to explain to people the power of language, where you can just define things however you want, and I think that's one of the ways that people twist stuff that I say and try to use it against me. I'm just blowing light charges here. I really want to get to this. I really want to get to this vault. I guess I'm not like missing out on rans or anything. Like, it won't spawn them unless I go in, so it's fine. I feel bad about missing out on a portal vault on a non-street character. It's like feels like a sin. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That one is just consumables mainly. That is true. It's almost imperceptible now. Bruh. Wow, was that +3? We're getting defenses a little bit early. I probably wouldn't train defenses so early. Man, that is +3. I could have just stuck with that. Heidi has been very naughty lately. that sounds lewd. He's talking about a casino game. I'm glad it's breaking, though, because it plays that terribly addictive song that you sent me. Alright, well, my hunger to go into that vault has ended because they, you know, the timing, it timed out. Proper skilling after all your games. Well, if I was streaking, I'd be doing it a little more carefully, but I like to, I call it leapfrogging, because the costs of training things is actually less in the early few of them, early few points. So, like, you'll notice I'm not just slamming my points into fighting because the cost has gone up to 5. That little cyan number there at the top. And the aptitude may be 0, which is higher than armor, but my armor cost is lower. So with armor and dodging, I'm a little more finicky about it. Like, I'm just watching my AC, and once it goes up by 1, I'm probably going to switch off. Training armor and dodging not very impactful early. I don't know. I feel like even a single point is like, if I can get my EV to go up by 1, listen, I don't, I'm not a numbers guy with this game usually. I'll be a numbers guy if it involves finding out if I can die the next turn, but otherwise I just go by raw animal instinct, and my raw animal instinct is that getting my EV even a point higher in the early game is quite good. Same for AC. Getting my EV to 10 seems to be kind of the magic number where you start to see some serious impact. Stealth is good. As far as streaking goes, you probably, if you can spare it, and I really should have here as well, get your stealth to 2.0, and then you have something like a 50% chance of an orc priest not noticing you, which is real good in the early game. I like to get fighting early on because even getting a couple points of HP is quite nice. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take my fighting to 5. But I do skill training targets, and I leapfrog it one by one. We're worshiping. We've got Mokleb now, so we'll see what happens. There's always a value proposition where it's a good idea at some point. Yeah, I think most people do not train defenses early enough. There's always the Chadleywick method: put on 5 skills and forget they exist. And I think that's good if you just don't want to think about it. If you're maybe new to the game and you don't want to like mess it up, so you just kind of keep going. If you're playing like a Minotaur Berserker, it'll be just fine. If you're playing a Knoll, you can just bypass the system. But if you're streaking, you really kind of have to get a nitty-gritty sort of view of it, because otherwise you're gonna like be less powerful than you could be. All right, we'll use some streak strategies. Oh, it didn't work. All right, fine. We got a hallway. Attune it to your gear luck a lot. If your offense feels good, you invest more in defenses in the inverse. Yeah, so that's pretty close to that kind of touches on my basic strategy. Then we're going into the mid game and not the early game. Like Awakened in the early game, I agree. Generally, getting stealth to 2 is a good idea on almost anybody. Yeah, that's also true, the me and team. But my basic strategy throughout the mid-game, throughout the early to mid-game, is, like, you know, if we're having trouble defeating enemies, like getting, you know, even taking the enemy off the board, probably we should be going for offense. If we can do that pretty consistently, get defense. And that's a very broad brush to try to paint the strategy with, but I do think it serves me pretty well. What do I think it's actually time to take evocations to 5, and then we'll just leave it there. I've got enough. I've got like a lot of charges. It's a little early to do that, but oh my god. Oh my god. That's an early Jeremiah can see Mind Burst, aka Disintegrate. We can probably take him down with that. But he'll do his little thing and oh my god. I might, but I don't have it identified, so I think we're gonna bail. If you go extended, experience is infinite. Well, yes, I mean, you've won the game there's a very powerful argument that says, like, if you've finished Lair, you have won the game. That would have been really bad on a streak. That guy could have confused me. But yeah, I don't know. It's hello, Orc Bow. Base damage of 11, base damage of 7 on the sling. We'll swap that. God, this Ignite is hilarious. The Longsword of Ashen Zari's Regard. That's kind of cool. Quite a few top players die after Lair. Yeah, and I think that that's probably more true now than it used to be, if I had to guess. Now that they've buffed up the S branches, but it's... And it also depends on what you're doing, you know. If you're doing Gozag and you lose after Lair, then it's like, what are you doing, you know? But maybe you are not playing the hardcore, most optimal character possible, and so yeah, sure. Yeah, and it can be, yeah, you're right. I mean, you can get robbed. I feel like S branches is the hardest segment of the game now. That may very well be true, especially if you get robbed of magic resist. I think probably the lamest thing that the DCSS the DCSS devs have ever done, and the thing that most heavily betrays their lack of understanding of this game, was throwing magic resistance, like Hexer type threats into the S branches. Because for me, I always thought that that was one of the coolest strategy things in this game. Was you don't have to go into, what can he even do? He can just smite me, right? You don't, like, if you have magic resist, okay, I get to go to Orc and I get rewarded with loot. If I don't have magic resist, I will have less experience, but I can go straight into the S branches and not have to worry about getting paralyzed. But now they have just, like, clumsily forced hexes into those branches, and the whole proposition is just ruined now. So I don't like it. Snake Pit has gotten sketchy after the constriction changes. Yep. It's true. Well, Spider is insane nowadays, because you have to have, like, Omni resistance. Clear design goal of S branches is to make sure they cover all threats. See, I don't know if that was what they stated, but if that's the case, I disagree, I guess. I don't think that's a good design goal. I know that from playing the game and streaking during versions where that wasn't the case, it felt like an interesting decision for the player to make. And this just feels like, okay, guess I'll die. You know, is how the player feels for their character on games where you just don't get the items that you want. And yeah, you can muscle through it. You can muscle through just about anything in DCSS, but it doesn't mean it's fun. It doesn't mean it's interesting. It doesn't mean it's like a big brain challenge, or there's like an interesting decision to make. Are we just like no skill defeating this dude with a +0 orc bow? The new Sphinx-like enemy in Shoals 4 is so dangerous. Do you have the name? Can I look it up? Is it in Trunk or is it in .32? Because I am curious. I don't know the one you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's why paralysis is such a... I've always thought it was kind of a bad mechanic, because it's literally... Well, not literally, but it is mostly just a gear check. There are things you can do to prevent it from owning you. I don't think it's in this version. Sphinx Marauder. What the hell is this? That's just a regular Sphinx. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It must be in Trunk. Yeah, it doesn't exist. I'm playing .32. It's the latest stable version. I didn't want to put myself at the mercy of Trunk. Dude! That's hilarious that even worked. I guess he just didn't smite that much, and we were able to sit there. I knew that... See, butterflies have super duper high evasion, so I knew I was going to be able to shoot the bow through them most of the time, so I was just like... I was thinking I could wait for Ignite Blood to kick in and just get my damage that way, but that... Hey, that's a very efficient way. I didn't use my wands. Yeah, buddy. I wasn't really looking too closely, so I didn't actually see if... This is the one that halves my MR, right? I didn't actually see if Ignite Poison triggered. I think it might not have. I don't think I want the Orb of Guile. Okay, I'll tell you what's huge is this Trident of Draining. Surprisingly powerful weapon. Normally I wouldn't melee this dude, but we've got a lot of HP and we've got a big boy weapon, so... Swap to Hex right now. Orb of Mayhem? Hell no, we want a shield. Although I guess Mayhem would be kind of funny. It's the one that, like, makes everybody go frenzy, right? Good lord, that sword. It's not good offensively, but it's great for everything else. We're going to take it as a stat stick, I guess. We'll drop this flail. We're never going to want that. Probably drop the dagger as well. No reason to go into the temple. Oh. Oh, 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 oh no! The first bad boy luck of the game. Walk into the black, and out of the unknown comes a kobold, a big kobold who throws curare at me, and I am now slowed. Does that work on like undead and things that are immune to magic resist stuff, Awaken? Because that might actually be interesting. Although I wonder if Mokleb would actually award you HP for doing that. Why don't we... I'll tell you what we're going to do. Two. We walk away. Take a step. We... Charm, baby. This is why Artificer is the best start in the game. and the Orc Warrior is the strongest thing on the board, other than maybe that kobold, big kobold. So I can just attack over his head. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll just... Haha! Use a little disintegrate. Now Mokleb is making up for my poor choices. We'll train a little more armor, get like 1 more point of AC. Normally I wouldn't do that until I have Ox slots, but I'm doing things a little bit... I'm doing some funny things on account of not streaking. I don't have to be too careful. I would probably be sitting here thinking about my skilling a little bit more. Well, that's interesting. 1 point of AC, lose 2 points of EV. So actually, that's a... I already enchanted up this chainmail. Let's stick with the chainmail. If that wasn't enchanted, I'd choose the other, but whatever. Take the curare. Always take the curare. It's really, really good. Ring of our core. I don't want that. I have +4 AC and +6 strength. Our core is not necessary right now. I don't know why I shouted there. I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. I can't help it. I have to do the optimal little hallway thing. It's like instinct at this point. Were there boomerangs? I don't think I'm going to bother with the boomerangs. Nah, you're right. I should pick them up. Just to be safe. Yeah, Awakened. I do think... Well, especially... I'll tell you what. You really want to... I tell you what you really want to block is holy attacks. I would not want to take a bunch of damage from holy, and I feel like the shield is the #1 way to stop that from happening. There's your big boy damage in a Ziggurat as a Lich, as a Demonspawn, as whatever. Can we still search for Ox? Yeah, we can. Alright, so that went up by 1. So we know it didn't trigger the armor skill thing, because armor skill is actually based on like what your base AC is, how much it boosts your AC. So that'll get us there faster as I train AC. Holy thing is your only method. Use often, end up trapped in your kill hole with no escape. Yeah, ideally it's a hallway with an exit, but you're on the right track, I think. It's the smite Cataclysm. That's the big deal. It's just being smited by 50 things on the screen, and I really think that like Celebrant is the way, because that will get in the middle of that. And what I really want to know is the order of operations. Like, let's say you walk into a Ziggurat floor which is filled with Devas, which will smite you, and you have let's see, you have 51% HP. One smite hits you. Celebrant triggers. Now, do I get that HP back, or does it run through all of the smites, and then if I go to 0 HP, do I die? And that is like some Bill Nye tier experimentation we need to do to figure out how it works, because I really do think some interesting things could result. I don't care about this enchant armor. Do I care about anything? Not really. We do have curing. That's cool. Alright, let's go. I'm playing too slow for a character that I might have to throw into the ditch on account of, you know, not getting the mark that I want. These guys are not immune to freezing. They're resistant. Very resistant. I think I don't want to fight them. I just don't have a... I don't have a good weapon for it. Maybe I'll just do the rest of the floor first and then feel better. Drain is real good versus things that are not completely immune to drain. Oh. He's dumb. He goes into the fire. Very good. Actually, if they make me bleed, I could just walk backwards, so that'd be okay. I'm going to keep getting intelligence. Going to wear the cloak. That increases our AC by 2, even though the base armor was 1, which tells me my armor kicked in for some of that. So I think I'm going to stop training armor. We're going to get 1 more point of EV, I think. Hello. Come on, man. Yo, that's a guy I can't really safely melee. Yes, I agree, Awakened. Okay, we got one more point of EV. I'm telling you, like, getting EV to 10, people think that they can just play a big AC guy and never, you know, never lose, but you really want to have both if you can. Dodging crystal spears feels real good. Not taking damage feels real good. It's one of the reasons why shields are so good. You know, I'm just going to melee this dude. +2 tridents is not half bad. There we go. Yeah, buddy. Are you too smart to walk into the flames? Oh, I have Agi right now. Let's go. Thank you, Powered by Pain. My favorite ability, my favorite passive, Agi. I miss it as a potion. EV is greater than AC. It just depends. It's 2 tools for 2 different jobs. But if I had to, like, if you made me choose which defense I thought was the best, it would be shields. Oh, I needed to walk backwards and I didn't. What a bad boy. Okay, I want to see that double-digit EV. Did you guys hear that people are apparently firebombing Teslas? I don't really understand what the point of that is. It's really, really deranged behavior. Cringe, you might say. Has a weird pivot. It's just something I've been thinking about lately. It has nothing to do with what's going on in the game. It was like a conversation I was having with my wife. Sounds like domestic terrorism. I mean, basically, I mean, I don't... It's certainly a crime. Yeah, well, I mean, that... I don't know. It seems... It seems like if someone has gotten to the point where they're using violence instead of the ballot box, yeah, I guess that pretty much is terrorism. I mean, if they're... Political violence has pretty much always, or at least since 9/11, been called terrorism, so I don't know. I think that's pretty much accurate. Hey, that's a yak. That might mean we have lair on this floor. Well... That's the thing, if you work people into a frenzy, frenzied, crazy things will happen. And I also blame the media for this to some degree. I mean, people are accountable for their own behavior, for sure. But, I don't know, look how crazy the DCSS devs are acting. It is actually related to DCSS because you can see it on a small scale in this community. Ooh, he's resisting! I'm just doing it. I'm going for it. Oh, I'm a madman. I shouldn't be doing it. This is nothing I would be doing in a real game. Let's. I don't want to lose this run, so I am going to use a blink. I shouldn't have meleeed him though. It's really dumb. Although he should not have resisted my disintegrate that many times. Well, I'm not saying that the DCS devs are terrorists. I'm saying that that same kind of ideological zealotry, that kind of unhinged rage at everybody who doesn't 100% agree with your philosophy. All right, check this out. We're going to do... This is the strategy, guys. If you ever want to get good at DCSS, here's the #1 thing you need to learn. Check this out. I started here, he was over there, he had this nasty wand that could do some decent damage to me. I'm not too worried about that. I mostly just want the charges, but let's pretend it's like, I don't know, acid wand that I'm real scared. Walk backwards, take a little step. He can't see me as I go here, so he has to step instead of zapping me. And then, oh, he can't see me at all. Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, I'm attacking him. That is like the #1 trick. You become a master of that, and you'll never fear a ranged enemy again, at least for the most part. State control of information can directly lead to this. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, during you know, the events of 2019, etc., when it was determined that the state was the arbiter of truth, I said this was going to happen when the media just kind of gets to dictate reality, and then you get sort of banned from everything if you dissent. That doesn't lead anywhere good. The charges don't drop on monster use anymore? Oh. Well, I still didn't want to get zapped a bunch. Alright, we have Unleashed Destruction. Can anybody tell me if training invocations on Makleb increases your heals or not in modern times? But yeah, I think my thesis here is that whether you are politically left or politically right or somewhere in between or simply apolitical, maybe we should try to understand each other a little more and try to hate each other a little bit less. I know that may be like a lame thing to say in the year of our Lord 2025, but I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty logical to me. Maybe I'm just... right back at you, buddy. Yeah, but that's the thing, is people are just... I mean, it's, I guess, metaphorical. It's like a flame war on the internet, but like nobody is prepared to extend an olive branch, and they're certainly not prepared to accept one. It's always just like, I hate this person, everything they say is evil, I'm not going to listen to them, I'm not even going to try to hear where they're coming from. There's no person on the other end of the screen, that's just my enemy, who's going to... Well, that's the thing is, I'm not concerned about apologies. I don't think apologies are terribly meaningful, because if you browbeat somebody into an apology, and I think that's kind of the big difference between somebody who is willing to bury the hatchet on something and somebody who isn't. Charming would have been okay there. It's just I mean, I would have had to have used it a few times probably to make them fight each other. I just blew my light charges. You're probably right that I should have. I mean, I'm just going to use Disintegrate though. I maybe should have opened up with Charming, although Charming will remain useful for a really long time, and Disintegrate kind of won't. Going a little crazy on my defenses, just a little too much. I got marked, so any resource use is probably justified in this situation. But, them stamps feet. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and it's like, I get that a lot, where people on the other side will, in the DCSS community, will suggest that, well, you should apologize. Well, that's not really how a dialogue works, because unless I, like, hit my head recently and had a whole change of philosophy, anything I've done, probably I did thinking that I was in the right. Or I had some kind of justification, and that's true for the people who disagree with me as well. I don't think most of these people are mustache-twirling villains. I think some of them have really hardcore personality disorders. I think the guy I get into it with the most genuinely is a pathological narcissist. I don't like to think that people who are completely irredeemable exist. And I think most of the people who yell about me are basically suckered into an ideology that makes them hate everybody who disagrees with them, and then they just won't listen to you. But again, I don't think that's evil. I think that's unfortunate. And I mean, it would be nice if I got an apology from these people for like the lies, the people that are like outright lying about me. It would be real good to get an apology from them, but I'm not demanding that. because at least some of them probably believe what they're saying. I do think there are bad actors out there. I do think there are people who lie on purpose. And some of the things that have been said about me are just very clearly... Like, there's a dev that accused me of doxing, and I don't even know how that's possible because the dude uses his real name as his username, but whatever. I'm pretty on record about being against doxing, and as far as I know, I've never done it. So I don't know. So I do think some of these people are just straight up liars. But for the most part, I think it's just confusion. I think it's sort of like political extremism. I think it's us versus them. But the minute that you try to open up a dialogue by saying, well, you should apologize to me, nobody with... Check it out, I'm going to use my trick. That's an actually dangerous wand. Nobody with a functioning... What is coming at me? What? That's an... what? Oh, I'm blind. Never mind. Okay. Okay, we gotta... I forgot how terribly dangerous that effect is. We're gonna have to use charges. I thought there was an... like a halo effect. I was like, oh my god. Why is there an angel or like Eos or whatever? But yeah, like, this is why I wouldn't demand an apology from them, and they shouldn't demand one from me. It should be more like, why don't we hear each other out? Oh, the why the fuck you lying? Why you... Yeah, that one. I love that song. It's like the DCSS dev theme song. Play it for 10 seconds for my viewers. I would, but I'm afraid of getting copyright struck. You guys can link it if you want to. It's pretty funny. There's a blade talisman. I don't think we're going to be doing shape-shifting today. Claws 2, Ignite Blood 1, Powered by Pain 1. This is a lot of damage possible, so I think we're gonna blow Wand of Light charges. It's hard to go wrong. When in doubt, Wand of Light will solve most of your problems if you have at least 5 evokes. It's a good wand. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do my my little gimmick. I should after 10,000 years. Desert, it's true, I'm back. Actually, check it out. I'm gonna say this again. For the first time in the history of this channel, I have started a schedule. I have put it in public, so I can be yelled at if I don't stick to it. I have never done that before, so that people can't really complain about me not streaming. For about 10 minutes, and that was one of the most deranged discussions you've listened in on. Well, what was deranged about it? I mean, do you disagree with me, or... Because you're welcome to disagree, but I am always curious where people are coming from. This is a very dangerous enemy. This guy can... I don't have electric resist, so while he's this color, he'll be doing electric damage to me. And he's actually fast. At least he used to be. Yeah, travels fast, doesn't attack fast. We're going to try to melee him. I've pumped defenses so hard that I actually feel okay about meleeing this. And yeah, look at that big shock damage. That's big boy damage. Oh, look at that big damage. I would never do this on a streak. Yeah, I understand Poly can change them instantly to another color. But pretty much any color would be bad right now because I have no resistances. I guess I could swap to the sword, but then I'm not doing damage. So let's... when in doubt, Wand of Light. You don't have to spam it. Sometimes blinding them is enough. We're going to try to... yeah, melee him down. We should have done better than that. The drain just didn't do work for us. Thank you, Raga, for linking that. And hey, Vainglory, what's up? Yeah, that's the thing, is I do think that the people who despise me the most, they're not looking for a dialogue. They're generally, as far as I can tell, looking for submission. Because that's what you're if you open up with say sorry, there's this underlying assumption like that you were wrong and I was right, and let's start with that as the frame. Well, what if it's a misunderstanding? What if the truth is somewhere in the middle? You know, like what if maybe I'm not like a beast that crawled out of the depths of hell? Just the idea. I mean, it's crazy, but like maybe the person who has ideas that you might not like or might not agree with is not like a hellspawn. Right, yeah, and that's the funny thing about apologizing with these people, is typically that's not even a guarantee they'll forgive you. It is a guarantee that you will not be able to look yourself in the mirror the next day if you were born with a spine. Let's get heal wounds. Fun thing about buying these items is it identifies it. Yeah, that's as far as I can tell. That seems to be the case, Awakened. But listen, I don't think I'm like an angel. I know I can be abrasive, and certainly I get into arguments with people and I say things that are maybe not the nicest. However, in my own defense, I am the one who is offering olive branches. I am the one who is not demanding apologies as the opener. You know, I like to think that that's a sign of good faith, and anybody who opens up with, well, start out by telling me what a bad boy you are and how much you are begging for my forgiveness, I don't think that's serious. It's not a serious... I mean, I guess it's serious if you just really love having control over people and being in charge and sort of always being right, but that's not really how the real world works. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's naive of me to think that people can sort of enlighten themselves a little bit and behave a little bit better. Oh man, this is the second Cyclops that's been on D8. Unless Cyclops is just like a regular early enemy, like I've not seen this many. The real world doesn't work like Reddit. Yeah, I mean, whole wheat rotini. I'm really curious. Is that like a drive-by insult, or do you disagree? I really want to get into it. Like you should. I don't know. I'm not sure what you were implying a minute ago, but I'm honestly really curious. I always want to have these discussions with somebody who disagrees with me, but like none of them will enter a space where they don't have mod power. I've noticed that. Like, they won't get into it with you unless they have the power to say, mod, please ban he, as soon as they start to get heated. And it's like that amygdala hijack happens. Okay, so I did a berserk potion here. It'll probably work. I don't think I'd do this on a streak, but it's a fun little strategy. You want to wait until they're basically right here. So I walked backwards so he couldn't see me as he was approaching, and hopefully we don't get dabbed on here, because I have my cards on the table now. Like, there's no getting out of this. There's your early game berserk potion use, and it worked just fine. Do I want more defenses? I feel like I want to just be super lame and just keep training fighting, even though it's not optimal. I'll take it up like 2 more points. Oh no! We're slow, but we should be fine. This is... why am I auto-exploring while slowed? How about that? Let's not do that. I almost want to switch to Claws. Claws 2 is, well, it's not Claws 3, but it's still pretty good. Is that guy still in the chat, or did he just, like, drop that message and then bail immediately? Because that's... It's every time. Every time. Another big boy that can do damage. 2-headed ogre. We can probably melee him down. I think I'm actually going to be sneaky here and attack across the slime, who can only do 22 damage to me. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I really don't like using the word hate, because it's like a word that has become this sort of magic I win phrase, like, oh, you're just hateful. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is, and it's just like, come on, dude, just have a conversation. How hard is it? I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of people show up in the Crawl Cosplay Discord to take a big fat dump on me, and then the minute that Raga is like, hey man, could you go to Malcolm's Discord to talk about this? Yeah, they're anti-fans, I guess you could say. But I don't even want that. I would rather try to connect with people on a human level. And, like, surely we have something in common. We're both people. We both put our pants on one leg at a time. I mean, unless you have, like, some really cool talent, I guess. That's the thing, is I don't think a lot of these people are coming in good faith. I'm just going to melee this, even though it's super dangerous. I really... Okay, yeah, let's not do this. I got paralyzed. We're going to charm him. Actually, we're going to step. Okay, we charmed him. Speak for yourself. I don't wear pants. Okay, that's fair. Anti-fans, they always bake cookies. Man, that would be way better. Yeah, I think that, like, the reason why these people are so willing to take a crap on me in a neutral space that doesn't want this kind of drama is primarily, yeah, they just want to get me banned. And that's why I mean, the moderator of the Roguelikes Discord, who has had this hate boner against me for years, showed up to shit on me in public, and then the minute that he was asked, like, listen, this kind of content is not really wanted here, could you please go into Malcolm's Discord? Of course it was no. Because I think the express goal in a lot of these cases is to make it look like I'm the source of drama, therefore just ban this dude. And this is not like a thing that's unique to me. If I was like anybody who had expressed an opinion that they don't like, that would have been enough. I just happen to be the current bad man. Like I'm just a symbol, basically. Should I do this? I really shouldn't do this. I would never do this on a streak. What would I do on a streak? Just avoid it. Cheesecake. My mom makes a mean cheesecake. Sugar and salt mixed up? Oh no! That's no good. Can we go to lair yet? Can I have a little bit of lair as a treat? I mean, I like salt. I'm Polish and we tend to put a lot of salt on our food, but I don't think I would want it in a cheesecake. Now let's check aux slots. Okay, nothing new. Let's just check artifacts. Just my silly little sword. Polearms, maybe? Nothing good, really. Oh, shields? I would love to have a shield. I guess we probably should start... Oh, we have Infernal Servant online. I guess I should bite the bullet. I mean, my god, my aptitude for invocations is 3. Let's make some use of that. But yeah, I mentioned at the start of the stream that I'm going to try to become more active on Twitch. And I want to get a schedule going. I want to get a podcast going. Obviously, there's going to be limitations to what I can even talk about as far as like politics goes because, well, this platform is not very friendly to people to the right of Karl Marx. But I do think it would be interesting if anybody has the courage. And this is not like an ambush. This is not, I don't want to be like a debate bro. I'm not trying to like get into a fight with people. But I would be interested in, somebody please ban Vainglory for that terrible joke. That's 0 out of 10, would not laugh. But I would honestly be interested in pulling one of these people in who just despises my ass, and just get them to have a conversation and maybe, I mean, and it's like, maybe we could see each other as people and not as like faceless demons from across the internet. Crazy idea, I know. Yeah, I have Curari. What am I even doing? I should do that. And then I'll flame, miss a bunch of times, melee, and actually land the hits. Very good. Karl Marx, not extreme enough. He's practically alt-right. I have noticed that the Overton window has been, like, slowly and then quickly just, like, getting slammed to the left. To the point where... I mean, I'll tell you, people don't remember this, but like Bill Clinton ran on a platform of immigration reform, which essentially makes Donald Trump a 90s Democrat. So you could be a Democrat from the 90s, hop into a time machine and arrive in the year of our Lord 2025, and then people would be calling you a fascist, which is maybe not so good for the country. It's at the time, I think, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He still is, as far as, like, where the Overton window was in the 90s. He hasn't changed his opinion on just about anything, as far as I can tell. It's just that the world moved. And so that's why I think you have... I mean, I have always called myself, I guess, right-wing on this stream, but that's only in the context of how insane things have gotten. If you sat down and, like, made me articulate all my little ideas... I would probably come across as like a classical liberal or something, on some things. Dude, this is, I hate killer bees, it's really, especially with attacks of opportunity. Obama calling for cutting government waste. Well, Obama was actually, for his first term, was against legalizing gay marriage. People forget that. And then like suddenly that changed. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting how this black and white thinking just doesn't really work. Oh no. This is really bad. I would be blinking if this was a streak. Let's swap. Let's swap again. Let's go up. Let's rest. A killer bee is nearby. Just kidding. Let's fight the killer bee. Let's rest. Let's fight this guy. I think it's fine. Yeah. Man, this game has thrown so many hornets at me. If I was streaking, I would be like pooping myself over this. I would not want to deal with the potential paralysis. Although we've done so well on training up defenses that it's not as bad as it could be. We're sitting pretty in a... Well, I probably would have also enchanted up my chainmail a little more, or one of these ox slots. If it didn't fit the narrative, if the opposite... It doesn't fit the narrative unless the opposition is called a Nazi. That really frustrates me, this, like, total abuse of language where, like, everything I don't like is fascist, everything I don't like is racist, everything I don't like is hate speech, and the more you dumb that down, the more you infantilize it and just, like, ignore the actual meanings of words, I think it cheapens the whole concept, actually. And I don't think that's good. I don't think it's good for the country. I don't think it's good for our ability to even have discourse. I think it leads to people being angrier and angrier. I think it makes it less possible for us to see each other as human beings, even when we might disagree. And you have to call it out. And if you don't call it out, then you're bad too. I mean, it is gone from, like, let's tolerate each other to stand and announce your faith or you're the enemy. Like, it's not even enough that we can agree to disagree. It's like, you better be on my side. And it really does feel like you're living through the what do you call it? The Inquisition, only it's like, hey, there's a buckler. Only it's just instead of religion being pushed, it's another ideology entirely. But it's the same basic concept where it's, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. I'm not either side really, since in the grand scheme of things, they are the same parties. I agree with that for the most part, but I also don't like Trump as a person personally. I mean, he's probably afflicted with narcissism, if I had to guess, so I can understand that. People should view politics from a class perspective instead of right versus left. Yes, I actually have... Here's my big conspiracy theory. I think that the powers that be started pushing identity politics basically as soon as Occupy Wall Street happened, because people saw on the right and the left, they got together and they were like, whoa, look at who's screwing us over. Oh my god, it turns out that they're gambling with the entire economic fate of the nation, and everybody's being homeless because of this. Oh, it turns out that, like, your average person really can't handle credit or adjustable rate mortgages and blah, 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 blah. And their solution to this was to play poker with it. And so people on the right and the left got together and did this big protest, which was slightly cringe in some ways, but at least had its heart in the right place. And then all of a sudden, identity politics comes out of nowhere, and now we're talking about how racism's back, and sexism's back, and these are the things we should focus on, and don't worry about class. And it just feels too convenient, I guess. I mean, I'm an older fella, I guess. Not quite as old as Raga, but I am an older fella. Old enough to remember what the prevailing sentiment in the country was after Obama got elected, which was, awesome, racism's over, we can just not think about this anymore. And then I guess it became politically convenient to make that into the most, the biggest issue of the day again. And I just think that if there was less energy going towards that, it could maybe go somewhere else, that's all. Maybe somewhere more useful for everybody? Sure, Citizens United, I think, is something that the far right and the far left agree is total dog shit. I mean, how many multiples of the amount of money you need to live, like how many Lexuses, how many absurd garish McMansions do you need exactly? I wonder. Oh, that's not good. I should not have... I wanted to abuse the flame, but it's not really that viable. Oh boy, I love attacks of opportunity. At least 4. Yeah. That reminds me, people give me so much grief about not being a huge fan of BLM, but it's like, where'd the money go, guys? Where'd the money go? Oh, mansions? Oh my god. Oh, we can't talk about that. They could not spend the money. Well, yeah, I mean, look at Elon Musk. He just spends it on, like, dystopian science male heirs. Oh yeah, yeah. The dumbing down of the American political system, where the president becomes like a car salesman. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I like this better than the Biden years because at least now we basically know who's in charge. So it may be like clownish, but at least it's like honest in a dishonest way. Does that make sense? It's you are well aware of who's in charge and what's happening. You may not like it, but in the Biden years it was like who's making our geopolitical decisions? It's surely not him. Could it be people like Victoria Nuland maybe? Was she elected? Could it be what was the State Department guy? I forget his name. But like I just have a hard time believing that Biden, who was perhaps even more senile than Reagan at the end, was making those decisions. And no, not him. I do feel like the American people, I guess, have a right to know who is got their finger on the button, so to speak. Anyway, this is Soup Sunday. This isn't politics podcast or whatever I'm going to call it. I don't know. I try to avoid the left versus right, red versus blue, and I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit, I rarely succeed. I poop on the left a lot. It's hard not to because they're the ones that come after me. Anyway, let's go into the lair. Yeah, dude, one shot the bullfrog. I guess we're just gonna have one of these days where we're trapped at the entrance. That's always good when you're trapped at the entrance of lair fighting things that you might not be able to melee, like a Komodo dragon. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's possible to make everybody happy, especially like the extremists on either side. They're always going to find something to be angry at you about. Don't like the wrong people, and it changes week by week, so check my blog before you express any opinion. Pretty much, yeah. And I know it's lame, I know it's old school, and maybe a little cheesy, but like, can we just be nicer to each other? Can we have a conversation? Can we not treat each other right off the bat as like demonic? Is that like possible? Can it be done? All right, I'm gonna switch to this chainmail or this plate armor because +4 is really quite good.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Sorry for what? Our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our
Drinks. Dragon Blood Talisman. I feel like this character should be capable of tabbing by now, but it's not because I haven't trained unarmed combat with my claws. So we're gonna do a little old stair dancing. Oh, piss. Okay. I'll suffer the wrath of the attack of opportunity. I tell you, Drain is a really good brand. People sleep on it, but the truth is, I think nowadays, it may be the best one for the early game. Venom's still good, but it's not as good due to attacks of opportunity. You can't do my old trick. God damn it. Alright. Mind Burst, aka Disintegrate, works quite well against Black Mambas. Yeah, they ruined electricity, which is sad. I don't understand why they did that. It did not need a nerf. It was in a good place. It was something that worked well in the early game and then kind of fell off late. I don't know, I thought it was cool. I guess I'll just do unarmed combat for a while. I can't... What am I gonna do? Not use troll claws? Just to get us to max piety real quick. Disintegrate is actually hilarious with Ignite Blood because it puts blood everywhere, which then ignites into fire. Hi, buddy. Hey, boy. 50%. I need more. All right, it's time to make some friends. Blizzard. Whoa, that's... Oh, boy. Okay, yeah, we got a hostile sun demon. Do I have fire resist anywhere? I guess I can wear my sword. And then just let the blizzard demon do the work, maybe. What? Oh, no, I forgot he had Mark. Let's see if we can finish his dumbass off real fast. Mark grows brighter. Whoa. Alright, this is getting real dumb. I can't believe it. This is why I've always hated Mockleb summons. Because it's just, you end up in this dumb situation, I'm reading Telly, where you just made your life worse. I'm just gonna wait. I want to teleport out of this, yeah. We get the net later now. You've actually made your life worse because you have summoned, like... Oh, fuck, I'm marked. You've summoned something that's hostile, so... Okay, we're gonna read our other Telly. We've been a bit robbed on Tellys. We only have the 2. Thankfully, we've cleared most of the floor. So we'll go up. I don't think that thing is durably summoned. Oh my god, let's take a look. It is durably summoned, are you serious? Are you for real? That's how it works, so you get a hostile... And I burned through so much piety summoning those, it's just... I've always thought it was dumb that they can come in hostile, and the fact that it's durably summoned is completely insane to me. Really, really bad. It's just bad, it's just stupid design. Like, I'm gonna punish you for using the ability that the game, you know, wants you to use. It's just goofy. It's just goofy. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going up. I might do some more dungeon. Normally I wouldn't do this, but go down. Hey, there's poison. I can't do anything funny with that. I'm just gonna wait until I think I'll just use my claws now, actually. Nope, they suck still. Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, they're okay. They aren't strong enough relative to alternatives to make sense. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a strange design decision. I would say that Mockleb overall is better, obviously. Like, it's more interesting. It's fun or whatever, but it's not... Okay, come on, dude. I guess he's not chasing me? Okay, I just wasted charges for nothing. Yo! Hi, buddy! That is an Ifrit. He can do 45 damage to me per turn. I guess I'll wear the stat stick. %. Maybe I'll... Actually, maybe I'll use Wand of Flight. Ifrit is blinded, okay. At least we get See Invisible out of this. Hey, blokes, what's up, buddy? Sneed. Yo. I don't even have to think about it. I know what we're doing here. I won't even use Charm. I'm just gonna swing. have RF++ in this thing. You've been feeding and you've been seeding. That's good to know. It's always good to feed and seed. I like that. We got no nets, unfortunately. Net would be really sick here. Because that's like actually a lot of damage from the Skeletal Warrior. He can hit me pretty hard. I sure wish I had more Wand of Light. Too bad I used it all. You know what? Let's use this other goofy ability, which is not great because it's kind of random what you get. A Gout of Fire hits the Skeletal Warrior but does no damage. It's very cool, baby. Thankfully, don't javelins penetrate? Well, yes, but we ain't got no skill. It exploded. I feel like that Gout of Flame turned into like a fireball. Okay, that's not gonna work. Disintegrate wins the day. Y'all are just gonna have to chill. I am... You know what? Fine. Okay, terrific. That is a 7-headed Hydra. Can we tank Hydras? Kinda? Not really? Maybe a little? Probably not 7 heads. This is another place where AA might just work. Unleash Destruction. Willpower is stripped away. Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, I can disintegrate now, but... Alright, let's see how we do. Oh, we one-shot him. Alright. The, Ignite Blood is really doing some serious work for us right now. Tartarus Destruction. Okay. Yeah, that's another... I'll say that this is interesting. As you level up your Piety and Makleb, it will give you a specific hell that your damage is associated with. And I don't know if that affects your Servant, but it does affect your Destruction, and I guess it makes it not random anymore, which I would say is a big improvement. And yeah, obviously, if this means that we get to halve people's magic resistance, that's pretty damn good. We should not be tanking so poorly versus these dudes. I've got shields, I've got pretty good AC. I could have higher evasion, I guess. Simply close the door. You know what? Let's force these guys to... Nothing a few low rolls can't fix. Yeah, typical DCSS. That's part of the game, though. That's okay. I've always been okay with the bad RNG because it just means that the game is now about overcoming that. And all the little tricks that I use. I used to say... 5 potions of resistance. I used to say that DCSS... Yeah, it is the Battle Brothers experience. Sort of. Same idea, different strategies to avoid it. By the way, blokes, you're going to be very happy about this, I think. I'm probably going to have on my new... I don't know if you've seen my new schedule, but I'm probably going to add a day for roguelites, and I'm probably going to finally go back to Battle Brothers a little bit. Because they apparently had an update recently where they like added new free content to the game. You don't have to pay for it, so it's kind of cool. Did you know that Vault Wardens can fix broken doors? I did not know that. That's interesting. I guess they don't want you sort of cheesing it. Oh my god. Alright, fine. Okay, we'll tell him to run away. I shouldn't have meleeed him is the thing. The lack of RF plus is kind of making my life hard. Lack of any resistances is making my life a bit hard. What was I running from in Lair? 3 ruined doors. What? There was something there that I didn't want to come back for. I think whatever it is, my memory is shot. Oh, my own sun demon, yes, yes. Yeah, we don't really have a solution to that yet. Yeah, we kind of do. Can I just... Does that just not do much damage? I thought it would be like a Quicksilver burst. It's kind of... Well, 3d12. Okay. That's not bad. 24, 36 damage. Possible. I'm just low rolling, I guess. How are you doing so much damage to me when I have RF++? Alright, we got him charmed. I like how the thing that was hostile is the worst possible thing for me to have to deal with. Like, the thing that randomly came in hostile is like, I don't know, I would have rather dealt with like a blizzard demon, I think. I mean, maybe not, I don't know. Probably not, actually, but it's just like funny that this character couldn't... I mean, yeah, no, I have pro cold, so it probably would have been better. Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna wait a few turns, and if he comes and chases me, I do not dare press 5, because if he finds me and is next to me again, and then he goes hostile. But we are just gonna wait a little while, get some HP back. And we're just gonna leave Lair 1, and we're gonna come back up as a big buff Demonspawn. That's a mark trap. I'm not sure if I dare fight like this, although if I do this, they're gonna surround me, so maybe I just risk it. Come on, Mockleb, give me some heals. That's the other thing, is I keep forgetting I've got that Mockleb power, so I can sustain through fights that I shouldn't be able to sustain through. Nice, fully healed, on a new floor. I could use more defenses, but I actually think unarmed combat is the way to go here. That casual +6 damage from Claws 3. I didn't expect it to max out quite so quickly, but it did, so, like, whatever. That's an endgame weapon. We'll switch away from it when we're doing the Ziggurat thing. Trying to drag these guys into the fire clouds whenever they appear. That's the thing, is you don't have to just rely on the ones that show up on the enemies. If they attack you, and that creates a fire cloud, you can just drag dudes into it. You can swap to a polearm and attack them across the cloud. You are become troll. Yeah, pretty much. Tails gets trolled. Yeah, I'm like a really crappy troll, basically. Not even that crappy. I don't know. The mutations are good. I probably shouldn't have dragged that stuff. I probably should have just fought, but who knows what's best in Attack of Opportunity land. Did you get any more identifies? Nope. Now, I said the stream was only going to last until 8 PM EST, but I think I'm actually going to stick it out until we get our mark. Because if it's not... I think if Celebrant's not there, I'm probably going to reset. So let's just see if this is even viable to test my wacky idea. Okay, you don't want to use claws versus a damn Hydra, because you'll just chop off the heads. On the other hand, I bet you that makes a cloud. Makes blood, rather, which would make a fire cloud for this guy. And once you have high enough damage, it's like, you can do it, but... Has this lair been extra spicy, or am I just, like... Am I imagining things? I feel like this lair has been extra spicy. We're going to use the Flame Wand trick on water. Okay, we're getting petrified, that's okay. It's just him, I'm not... Is it? Okay, I gotta walk around. I'm not real worried if it's just them. Like, they hit reasonably hard by themselves, but... How hard does he hit? 20? Yeah, I'm not real worried about being petrified if it's just one of these dudes. Let's see how bad it is. Yeah, not bad at all. Now, if there was a Komodo dragon or something nearby, then you've got a problem. Don't I have a polearm? Yes, I could have technically attacked from across the water, but and maybe in a street game that would have been worth it, but it would have been hilariously tedious. Oh, well, let's take a look. I think that message just sucks. Yeah, 39%. I would not call that easily resisting. Bad message indeed. I haven't really been doing any smart identification. I've just been, like, picking at random, but I'll do the math now. We have blinking, we have telly. Those are the two I care about. I want fear, I guess. We have invis, that's nice. We have heal wounds, we have curing. It looks like scrolls for fear. Yeah, no, it probably is your role, but I feel like it should probably be... I think the more interesting information to reveal to the player, which of course I guess they already have, would be the chance of... I think it should be more related to the chance of failure, but that's, you know, whatever. That's a matter of opinion, I suppose. Teleport trap, okay. Yeah, get in that fire. Okay, alright, fine. We'll just possibly eat attacks of opportunity from a damn Komodo dragon. No! Good God. Ugly. Whatever, I'm just gonna... Why is Zom now a dungeon feature? Well, see, they took out regular traps, and now it just, like, happens, I guess. Bruh. This is like this character feels way weaker than it should, and I think it's because I haven't trained enough defenses, but I'm being a real stickler about getting my unarmed combat to 15, because that's when you can just, like, smash through the early and mid-game, with Clause 3. It's the magic number. I mean, there's nothing magic about it, it just seems like that's when you're doing enough damage. Stumbled into a teleport trap by now, I suppose. And so I did. Yeah, it was because of that. They changed that because of EV4's carpet thing. Alrighty, water nymphs are actually really dangerous, and so I abused Wand of Flame to defeat it. Much more dangerous in B-Crawl, though. Much more fun as well. Okay, we're abusing this little kill hole. It's working out pretty well, except when we get blinked on. Alright, man, give me that maximum Mochleb piety. And I think on this character we will just reset if we don't get one of the marks we want to test. Because I haven't rolled Powered by Death, so I don't think I'm going to bother to try to find out if you can re-roll the marks on the same character. Although, I feel like that's something that would be reasonably possible to find out through code diving. You know, if we were using a broad axe, I wouldn't have to go into those kill holes. Come on. I just need a high roll. Like, one high roll, and the Black Mamba goes away. Hi, fella. This would be a good place to use the... Oh, no. Oh, no! Did they speed that up? I think they may have sped that up. You know what? I don't need to... Guess what we don't need to do today? We don't need to fight. We do not need to fight the orb spider just yet. I think we can save that for when we're ready to go into spider. I do not need to make my life any harder, as there's no need. And you too can just throw an exclusion down on things you don't want to fight and then just walk away. It's the #1 thing that will make you win more games of DCSS is the ability to walk away from things, the mental fortitude. But it won't save you from getting shafted. Uh-oh. That actually was a pretty tame shaft. I can't complain about that shaft. That's what she said. When you walk into a web and there's an OOD coming at you. Yeah, I already... No, it's too late. I already said it. That's pretty good. I bet you were typing that and sending it before I even said the other thing, though, so... so I'll give you credit. Alright, identify it. That is really good. Let's keep hunting for fear scrolls. Whoa, hello, 2-stack of acquirement. Yeah, buddy. Do we want to go ahead? Usually it's not good to save them. Because this is going to be a Ziggurat character, I don't even care. Whoa, that's Faith. Hello. Look at that scarf, though. That's nuts. Stark Hero, that's crap. Well, it's going to be the Faith, then. Okay, and then we're going to acquire again. Yo, that's like endgame broadaxe. Hi, buddy. How cruel to give me a broadaxe like this after I've trained so much unarmed combat. I'm gonna take this, and I think we'll just... Yeah, it's a good resist stick as well. It's heavy, that's fine. I think for this particular... I wouldn't like it on a streak, but I think it's perfectly fine on, you know, for the purpose of this character, which is to do many Ziggurats. We are going to pop on Faith. You feel a surge of divine interest. And we get RF plus out of it. And we have the ability to pop on the X for RC++. I feel like we stop training on armed combat and just bite the bullet. Maybe might wait a little while, hard to say. But we'll probably do defenses after this, and then once we're feeling like our offense is no good, we will become the Axeman. I mean, look at me, I can tab. Turns out Clause 3 is pretty good. Clause 3, Mockleb healing, hard to complain. Pausing to read it when everyone has evaluated it in seconds. Well, clearly you haven't spent enough, you haven't wasted enough hours of your life on this game. I'll hold here. I'll hold on this one. I should probably stop. So it's heavy, it's RLEC, it's RC++, Dex -3, and Synv. So basically it has high-rolled tons of resistances, way more than you would normally get. 3 resists, and then also the See Invisible. The Dex -3 is really not at all bad. It's unfortunate, but it's not bad. The heavy means it's going to attack way slower and do a lot more damage. I typically don't like heavy. I don't like heavy in a streak game because attacking slowly is like the worst thing you can do if you're trying to have a high win rate, because it gives you it gives you less time to do things. Like the enemies are taking more actions. The enemies are taking more actions basically for each one of your actions, and you notice how, like, if you look at the top right of the screen where it says time, if you see me attack, like if I walk it takes 1.0. If I attack, it's 0.8, and that's because fighting with your fists is really fast, especially once you've trained. So, you know, it's quite good. The only thing I like on heavy is a triple crossbow. Yeah, with ranged, it's kind of a different story. Yes, and that's something I usually forget to say. It is probably pretty good on Demon Blades, because then you're still staying below 1.0 speed, which is where you want to be. But with a broadaxe, occasionally you're going to attack at 1.1, which means you are risking things getting... things that are like regular speed will still sometimes get 2 hits on you, which is kind of scary. But if I get to test Celebrant the way I want to, Dark Maul best weapon. Yeah, right. But yeah, I have always wanted to play like a, especially since they uncapped Dex, I've wanted to play a Dex character that uses a heavy Demon Blade would be cool, or a heavy Demon Whip. I like that you typed that correctly. Yeah, that's the thing, is you miss a lot in this game, and that's something I think, Blokes, you've been talking about since the early days. And I get the feeling that you hate this aspect of the game, but I'm okay with it, because like I was saying earlier, I just think it makes the game, it's the game of resetting fights. And now that AOOs are a thing, it's like much more obnoxious to reset fights. So it seems kind of, I guess, muddled. Okawaru to mitigate it? Oh yeah, you could just be like hasted all the time in any non-trivial fight. Fair enough. That's a helmet. Oh, we need to drop some garbage. I'm gonna drop this orb to everybody's sadness. I know you want to see me use Orb of Guile. Maybe someday. Maybe on Soup Sundays I'll actually like do a poll, and it's like, do you want me to do my Ziggurat guy? Do you want me to do some kind of wacky combo that I probably normally wouldn't do on a streak? Do you want to see a particular fork? I know I've been promising Bacadrin for many years, to my everlasting shame, that I would stream Bacadrin Crawl, then I never did because I'm an asshole. So the good news is we're finally getting a server for Crawl Cosplay, and it's going to have all kinds of forks on it. And once that's up, I pledge to Bacadrin, hold me to it, I will stream Bacadrin Crawl on Soup Sunday. Orb of Guile is, it just halves everybody's MR, including your own. It's probably really funny with Discord. Guile plus Vuln plus Malmutate on monster. Love seeing 80% to Hex Menace. Oh, that is funny. We rolled the goofy merfolk end, so I'm gonna need to watch out for like hydras and stuff as well in this water. I'm not too worried about the merfolk avatar. I actually like this ending. I called it goofy, but I don't mean it's bad. I actually do like this vault. I think it's very thematic. Kino, you might say. I think it's the best kind of crawl vault because it makes you change your strategy sometimes. Maybe you might want to wear an item of flying. Yeah, we have Powered by Pain too, so I'm basically role-playing as myself. Most people get into an argument on the internet and they feel bad, but little do they know, my Slavic genetics are kicking in, and I will just fight forever and be happy about it. One of the Devil's team. I have noticed that though, that like you just can't let yourself get drawn into these internet arguments all the time because it's not really helpful for anybody. And as somebody who is not conflict averse, it's sometimes hard for me to realize exactly how much the opposite your average person is. Like on the, what's that Big 5 personality scale thing, I think I scored like a 0 on agreeability. So it's like, you can say the nastiest stuff imaginable to me, and it can be horribly insulting, but if I deem it to be true, I will not get upset at you. And I guess that your average person is just not built that way. I don't know. It's interesting. You had a Coglin dual hand cannon run, Kino, where I lost because I couldn't kill Sarabov. Came to a dark realization that there's just no way to amplify range damage. Yeah, Might Potion doesn't work anymore, so I guess I should have just ninja'd the rune or had a heavy hand cannon. Yeah, heavy would be the way to do it. Haste would sort of amplify your damage because you're attacking more often. Were you hasted? Had you trained ranged weapons past Mendeley? Because you do get damage from that. Did you have fighting skill? That'll increase your damage. You were hasted and finesse. That doesn't stack, by the way. I forget which one's faster, but I know they don't stack. You could, yes, that's, hey, good one, Gridgem. Yeah, Acid Wands would reduce the AC. Vile Clutch would effectively increase your damage by making you miss less. Using everything you could. Huh. And you just couldn't take him down, huh? What brand did you say was on the hand cannons? It's not heavy, so not the ideal one, but Serbov is like, yeah, he's not resist cold. I would probably want freezing on mine. Mule and a freezing one? Huh. What brand is Mule? Flame. I mean, still. 20 turns to kill. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you reset the fight enough times and it'll work for you, I guess. Even get him to half? Oof, that's ugly. What about, did you have evocables? You could have just, I mean, you said you used acid on him, but did you, like, train evocations? Because I feel like you could have, you know, evoked Pokemon, the Box of Beasts or something, maybe. Magic, sure. But he's saying he specifically wanted to use ranged, and I fold evocables into strategies like that, but spellcasting is kind of a whole other story. I mean, sometimes you do just have to go off-brand, basically. Like, sometimes you have to just go completely outside of what you want the character to be. Yeah, +8 Rapier of Speed is pretty based. Malign Gateway would do it for you. I mean, you kind of want translocations anyway, because there's some funny spells that interact with ranged. You might not have used them. I feel like, here's a comedy option, check this out. So we look at Serabov, and we see that he's RF Infinity. What would his sword do to him, I wonder? If you used a Phantom Mirror on him, would you make him vulnerable to fire? 2 Sandals, thank you for the follow. Okay, how about this? You said Okawaru? Yeah, I guess he doesn't really, I guess other than the finesse and the heroism, he's not going to do a lot for you. Yeah, that's a rough one. I think that's just a rough character to do extended with, honestly. I think that if you don't want to go down the route of spells, yeah, no, I believe so. 27 ranged weapons, 27 fighting. I mean, defenses matter, I guess, so I assume your defenses were okay. RF+++, did you have that? Because sometimes it's about just sustaining. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you just didn't, that's weird. That's weird that, well, I mean, the other problem is, I mean, if we just look at Serabov, 651 is an awful lot of HP to chew through. If you're not, yeah, I guess you're not getting the stat bonus on damage. If I look at hand cannon, are you getting dex damage? Well, how was your dex? What was your dex? Because that's 110%. Comparison, a broad axe is 122% of your strength, so yeah, 20 or something. Yeah, that's, huh. I have not played a purely ranged character in some time, so I can't say for sure. It's an interesting problem, I'll say that. Okay, do we have RF on a swappable? We really don't. Artificer start? Yeah, so I mean, you could have had higher dex, I guess. The different start, but I shouldn't, like, dog on you for the start. It's like, whatever, you should be able to do this on any start, so. Did extend it with a ranged character, but you had Malign Gateway. Yeah, Malign Gateway is I don't want to say it's cheating, but you're definitely not relying on ranged at that point. So, I mean, if the exercise is get your damage from, here we go. I blinded him. If the exercise is get the lion's share of your damage from ranged, I feel like Malign Gateway is just kind of bypassing the exercise. It's a good decision, don't get me wrong. You're definitely making the correct choice there. It's like the best summon in the game, in my opinion, or at least the most fun. I mean, no, I agree. I'm definitely not pooping on you for that. I think it's Kino. I think that's the first idea everybody had when Coglins were introduced, and it's a really cool concept, I guess. I just don't know. I don't know how viable it is. That's all. I'm being petrified. I don't think I care. 2 hand cannons is not enough. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I would not even blame Coglin, or I would not even blame the hand cannon for that. I would blame Coglin. I mean, I guess you're supposed to be doing way more damage, but I mean, I bet you a lot of the damage you were taking was from melee, from Sarabob and him reducing your fire resistance. And, you know, guess what? You'd be blocking that with a shield. I would bet you would be able to sustain longer and actually do more damage over time if you were just using like a +9 freezing hand cannon and a shield and not be a Coglin, which is funny. All right, Mark of the Celebrant, so we can test it. We can test my idea. So if we want to read this, I can read this to you guys, because I know I described it earlier, but I can sometimes not be the most articulate man in the world. So maybe this will make sense if what I said didn't. Accept Mark of the Celebrant. Permanently carves an infernal mark into yourself, forever tainting body and soul in service of the Destroyer. So long as you continue to worship Mokleb, this mark will grant you the following power. Whenever you fall below 50% of your maximum HP, you perform an infernal rite, unleashing a flurry of blood arrows. I called them blood spears, but apparently they're blood arrows. That's okay. Aimed at nearby enemies. You will fire at least 1 arrow for every valid target, but may fire additional ones if few are present. Invocations increases the damage of these arrows, and Mokleb will always bestow healing upon you for the enemies killed by them. After performing a blood rite, you cannot do another until your HP has fully recovered. So my theory is that you are straight up unkillable with this thing if you have enough HP. And then there's enough enemies on the board. That is my theory. So we're gonna accept Mark of the Celebrant. Okay. Based. I think we're technically vulnerable to silver now. I read that somewhere, which it's kind of weird that it didn't tell me that. But maybe that's only one of the marks, I don't know. But that's just a theory. A game theory. No, we're going to test it, though. It's not the ideal Demonspawn to test it on, but we're going to test it. We're going to go into a Ziggurat. We're going to make it happen. And I bet you the rest of the game is going to be hilariously easy, actually. Let's take invocations to like 15. Like, I bet you I can just tab and anything bad that happens. Like, I remember reading the description of that ability, and unless the damage is just utter garbage, I really feel like it's just gonna poop on the game. Gil's Gravitambourine. Okie doke. And if this works the way that I think it does, it's gonna completely upset the meta. The Trove wants 5 potions of resistance. We saw it earlier, which I either have none or maybe if I'm lucky I have 3. Wonder what's in Tal's chat. Yeah, I saw those and I don't want to click it because someone could be like putting racial slurs in there to try to get me banned from Twitch, which sounds perhaps paranoid, but you know, you're welcome to look at Tal's. Well, actually, I guess if you join Tal's chat, it won't show it. I'm using Condenser, which got nerfed and is clearly not as good as it used to be. Here, coins being counted. I'm going to do this Bazaar, and then it's after 8 p.m., so I'm going to probably call it a night after we do this floor and hopefully get to the Bazaar. I think the Bazaar is nearby on account of these wacky chaos enemies here. Can I just Gravitambourine these guys into the flames? Yeah, buddy, and they're just stuck there. That's right. That's nuts. That's actually a funny combo. Yeah, the Gravitambourine strikes me as ludicrously powerful. Alright, normally I wouldn't like tab a Chaos Demon because there's the risk of being being paralyzed, but 1, I'm not streaking so I don't care, and 2, I have Mark of the Celebrant, which I would like to trigger at least once. Oh god. Well, there's the thing. Let's not be too stupid. I may have a high opinion of Mark of the Celebrant, but I haven't. Let's remember I haven't actually seen it in action, so maybe it sucks. I seriously doubt it, but maybe. Let's pull these guys. Did I just one-shot him? Yeah, I did. Okay, am I going below half? Hey, what's up, Cyborg? Okay, we should be... Whoa, there it is! Dude, it's nuts! It's uncontrollable! This is gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna be stupid. Well, hey, Cyborg, look at my schedule. I've done, for the first time ever, we have a schedule. I will be doing Soup Sundays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. In its current state, ranged Coglin feels like a significantly worse ranged demigod that trades vital damage and bulk, not to mention shields, unless that's what you mean by bulk, for picking a god instead. I'd say Oka isn't the choice, at least. I'm gonna say something here that is gonna, one, make blokes super happy, and two, it's an interesting enough idea that I actually want to do it on stream. Hear me out. Coglin Hunter of Chabriatos. I bet you that's your answer. Coglin Hunter of Chabriatos. Go for the double, the double. You get the max. I think that's the highest dex start out of all the backgrounds, if I remember correctly. Go get yourself a couple hand cannons as fast as possible, and your dex. And the thing is, you don't gotta move, so you're not so worried about being a Che character. You're just standing there blasting. You know, so you don't even have to worry about the chase speed. You're just blasting. Oh, something's too close. Whoops, I'm stepping from time. Or the other one that makes them walk around a bit. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that would consistently increase your damage, and probably by a lot. So I'm just going to tab. I'm just going to tab this. I think Celebrant is just going to bail me out of any problems I might have. Yeah, let's do it. This is insane. This is ridiculous. There it goes again. Alright, so it just killed like all the crazy, scary things on the board except for the Cyclops. And I don't even have like 27 invokes right now. I have almost 11. This is cracked. It's ridiculous. And I want to test something. If I press 5... Yeah, as soon as I go to full HP, I get it back. Am I wrong? This is ridiculously cracked. Did they test this? It's cracked. It's going to be ridiculous in a Ziggurat. There's a real boy shield. Was there? Oh, there is. Let's do the Bazaar first, because I don't want it to disappear. Would it full heal you, though? Well, see, Leon, that's my question. I don't know. I want to test this now. I'm going to let this dude walk to me. I wanted him to throw at me. Okay, the blood arrows will hit at least that far on the screen. So that's interesting. So if it shoots one at every single enemy on the screen, oh my god, it's gotta get you to full HP, right? It's got to. Yeah, there's no delay. I just don't think they were thinking this through. I don't know. I don't think they were thinking this through. Glowing chainmail, I might get that. The toga, victory, is that new? What the hell is star victory? You got clarity, this would be sick for a mummy. Victory, when the wearer kills a threatening monster, it has a chance to gain +1 AC, +1 save, +1 int, capping at +7. Boo. When the wearer uses a scroll or a potion with a hostile monster in sight, it resets to 0. Unequipping it also resets its bonuses to 0. So, I think this is cool. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think this is cool. This is a weird item, but I think it's weird in a cool way. I have nothing bad to say about this. I think this is a really cool item. And I don't say that often about things in mainline, but this is... Jamie, pull up the video. Pull up the commit. Tell me who made this. I bet it's the same dude who I keep praising the ideas from. They're not all good, but some of them are kind of over-engineered. This is wacky, but it's wacky in the same way as Wormbane, but it's different. It's actually different than Wormbane, so it's not just like a carbon copy. So I like it. This is cool. It's, I would say, more interesting in this version of Crawl on account of the way that GDR works. So it kind of becomes a respectable piece of armor. I don't think it's something I would wear on this character for like end game doing, you know, lots of Ziggurats, but I'd probably wear this on a streak. I mean, it's weird because it resets when you use a scroll or potion, but it says with a hostile monster in sight, so you could suck down like a haste and then go down into Vaults 5 or something. It's really not bad. The only sad thing is you're kind of cucked out of resistances on your body slot, but you're gonna have a lot of evasion because you got no encumbrance, and you're gonna have a pretty decent amount of AC. Damage on Blood Arrow is 4 to 86.52 and only heals on kill. Well, things are gonna die, right? 4 to, well, hold up, 86.52. What is the range when you're at 27 invocations? Surely the range doesn't start at 4. Fewer than 8 enemies are present. Up to 2 arrows will be deliberately fired per target, and the rest will be shot in random directions. Huh. That's an interesting way to do the RNG of it. 300 damage per shot with a J triple crossbow. Considering the highest amount of damage you can do with a triple crossbow. I didn't see those messages till just now. Yeah, demigods got buffed. I think they get like 3 stats per pick now, which is a lot. Per enemy at the streamer if it's 8 max. Well, that's what this is. Hey, buddy, we're running the test. I think it. Well, it irritates me beyond belief that I can't search for that ability anymore, as far as I know. Like I had to. Unless it counts as a mutation. Yeah, okay, it's a mutation. Unleashing a flurry of blood arrows aimed at nearby enemies. You'll fire at least 1 arrow for every valid target. So yeah, every single one. So if there's 30 enemies on the screen and you can see 30 enemies, you are firing 30 arrows. And here's the thing that I just realized just now. I don't think these are smite targeted. So I think the arrows will annihilate the stuff that's immediately next to you, because like 4,000 of them will hit the things around you. So it's actually even better than what I thought, because I think you'll immediately go to full HP again. So whoever designed this, listen, super cool ability, super fun. I'm not dogging on it as like how it's designed, really, so to speak. I just don't think they were considering what this looks like in a Ziggurat. But you know what? We're going to test it. We're going to see how it looks. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not that great. You know? I want to... What do you guys think about this new Toga thing's victory? So I guess it's like the AC is not that great. Like it's going to be 9 total, which is way less than what plate gives you at +0. Toga victory kicks ass. I think it's a very interestingly designed item. I just don't, in terms of like optimal play, I don't know. It's too bad it doesn't. It's too bad it caps at 7, because then you could do some insane stuff with it if it was higher. Things being broken in a Ziggurat. What are you saying, blokes? That's not a big deal, because I guess I would agree. That things probably should not be designed around how good they are in Ziggurats, so I can't really complain. Okay, we want the boots. We maybe want victory, but I feel like I'm gonna be super lame and just get the magic resist plate. I don't know. Maybe. What a funny decision. Like I kind of want to use victory just for the memes. It's the opposite of trying to splat minotaurs. Yeah, I guess so. I doubt it's good to run unless you have nothing better, but yeah, best argument is range character. Doesn't want to add delay. Yeah, I forgot about the armor thing. That'd be good for, hey, that would actually be excellent. This would be probably the optimal choice for your Che. Check it out, for your Che Coglin hunter guy. You're gonna have +7 slave from the body slot. That would be incredible. That would be really, really good. And you can just use Che abilities to bail you out instead of potions and scrolls. And probably you won't even need to do that because your defenses will be incredible. I will say that you're not getting as much as you could out of your big boy strength at that point, but whatever. Because that, you know, the idea of a Che character is often I'm in big heavy armor and I'm casting anyway, haha. Or I'm in big heavy armor and my evasion is still incredible because my strength is enough to bypass the problem. Yeah, I find it ridiculous that it's a robe. Why is that, blokes? I guess there's the ring mail if I really need MR, which of course I want. 50 strength to ever remove attack speed delay from ring mail. Well, that is achievable if you're worshipping Che Briados, but probably not on this theoretical Coglin. He's probably pumping decks. Because going down to 2 AC on a body slot is very unpleasant. Yeah, that's the problem. But I mean, I think the fact that it's not, like, obviously, if you wanted this thing to be, like, the optimal piece of armor, it would be, I don't know, like a Steam Dragon scale or something, or some Quicksilver Dragon scale, or, I don't know, like even just plate armor, sure. I think the fact that it's a robe is actually more interesting because it's not just like the best. I don't know. I like it. I like the way it's designed. I think it's an interesting little piece of, yeah. The trade-off there is interesting to me, and I'm slightly annoyed that I can't poop on it because it's actually a good idea. I gotta give credit where credit is due, though. Let's just get these boots. It's unnecessarily weak. It could be. It could stand to be buffed. It just kind of depends on what the purpose of the item is, though. Like, is it meant to be an early game item? Is it meant to be kind of a... Yeah, it goes up to 9 AC total. But what Blokes is referring to is not just the sort of low AC of it. Yeah, it goes up to 9 total, but the base AC will always be 2. So probably what Blokes is talking about is the fact that your armor skill is now going to give you less AC, because the more base AC you have... so like the heavier armor you're wearing, the more your armor skill gives you free points of AC. So you get kind of cucked out of AC wearing this item. It's a significant trade-off in the late game, I would say. See myself using it on a range character. Well, I mean, it's like it's an obvious fun meme choice on account of just being a slay item, because +7 slay is a lot, and I'm actually gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna wear it just because it's going to be funny on this character. I'm going to drop this trident. God, my defenses go to total garbage. Oh, man. I mean, it'd be pretty... I'd say it's fine on a Dex character. Buying for content. Yeah, pretty much. It's not... This is not an optimal decision, but there's nothing here that I want more. So we'll just try it out. There's a Shadow Ghast. Wouldn't it be nice if we had See Invisible all the time? The Maw Talisman of Amorality, Arlek and MP +4. Yo, sack of spiders! They did in fact bring it back. I can drop these gloves. I can... This is, by the way, like, +4 plate armor. It's insane that I've made this swap. I really shouldn't have, but... Oh, yeah. I mean, if you found it on D1, you'd be crazy not to wear it. Why? Wait a minute. Why is it not going up? Oh, am I lagging? Oh, I'm lagging. Kills a threatening monster. Oh, this is significantly worse than I thought it was. Because charging it up is going to be obnoxious. I mean, it's not, like, significantly worse. It's just worse than I thought. Why don't I drop stuff before entering portal vaults? In this case, it's just laziness. Typically, I do. If I have time to do it. But also, it's just... Usually, at this point in the game, the stuff that I'm dropping, I'm probably going to want to drop forever anyway. Like, there are some situations, like if I'm entering a trove, I'll definitely sit there and be careful about it. But, like, what did I drop? Some stones and some, like, a trident I know I'm never going to need again. It's, you know, whatever. Well, Blokes, I suspect in the, like, the ultra end game, if for some reason you were using this item then, which is, you know, I assume a mistake, you will not have that big of a problem, because it's probably easy to find, like, tier 1 demons or whatever. Yeah, probably you just never put it on again. I'm annoyed that, like, none of these things count as a challenge, though. Because they would have 5 minutes ago. Equip that shield. You're totally right, I should. Let me go do that. Yeah, buddy, thank you for the reminder. Shields to 15. We actually have decent SH now. Server is getting laggy. It's gonna motivate me to stop these streams as early as I said I would. I feel like I'm out of my mind because I can just not even worry about going to low HP because of how good Celebrant is. Train dodging now that you're in a robe. Yes, I should. I wanted to wait until Invocations was 15 to not spread myself that thin, but, I mean, honestly, yes, I think because I'm not streaking. I mean, if I was really doing this optimally, we would be, like, leapfrogging this stuff the way I do, but, yeah, right again, blokes. I guess I can't be confused. That's kind of cool. Oh no, I'm taking damage. Oh, look, everything's gone. Celebrant is cracked. Like, I knew it was good just reading the description. Like, typically, some cool thing happening, without you having to take an action to make it happen, just automatically bailing you out of bad situations. Pretty good, you know, pretty good thing, if I had to guess. I could just kind of tell. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's as good as I think it's going to be. We're going to drop enchant weapon. We're never going to need those. Because we have an axe that will be perfectly good into the late game. Yeah, dude. So we'll drop those. That'll free up an inventory spot. I think this is like... I think this is a good place to stop, actually. I feel like I should take off Faith at some point, but certainly not just yet. I guess I can use Infernal Servant and not care about using Piety. I don't know. Monklib is in such a weird place piety-wise because there's only one ability that uses it. I guess maybe the Fanatic Mark uses it. Yeah, it does. Which is a really cool ability, by the way. It's probably not optimal, but it does seem really strong. You get to, like, turn into a super big demon, where you're, like, immune to torment and even hellfire, which they call damnation now. And you get, like, a harm ability, but it only amplifies your damage. You don't take more. It's absolutely insane. Really cool concept, but apparently it costs a lot of piety, so... I guess that would be the place where you'd be dumping your piety if you wanted to use piety on Monkleb. But it's interesting that I mean, I would rather there be more piety cost and no HP cost on these guys. Lich form, Jenny form, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, this was a good stream. I think this was a good start to Soup Sundays. And just, like, keep an eye... Yeah, 0.13 Thunderdome, that was fun. Just like keep an eye on the schedule page for well, more to come, Raga. Like I said, I'm gonna do my level best to kind of add a little more structure to my life. And if like streaming is like a small way to do it, I suppose, but it's I think it's good for people to have a schedule, and it's something I've never been lazy. Like I work hard, but it's always been very hard for me to stick to a normal schedule for things, and it's I guess one of the reasons why I have sort of structured my life the way I have, where the way I make money, I work for myself, I freelance, etc. Crawl Sundays, since we'll be pivoting from mainline. Yeah, well, it's just, I just did it for the alliteration and because it happens to be Sunday. But yes, we'll probably change it to Crawl Sundays because it's not gonna just be mainline. It's going to be many different forks of Lindley's Dungeon Crawl, including Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Right now, it's me like testing this wacky Ziggurat idea, but later it'll be things like Bacondron Crawl. It'll be games on the what do you call it, the Crawl cosplay server of other forks. I'm hoping that we get Kimchi on there at some point. I've seen that and it looks wild. It could be B-Crawl games. Maybe I'll start a B-Crawl streak even, and maybe I will do it on the Crawl cosplay server because I think it's like a new beginning for Dungeon Crawl, and I think it's a really fun opportunity to maybe just make this into a more social, more positive kind of thing, and not what we've seen for the last few years. Not streaking at least makes it less stressful. Yeah, I get to do different things on stream like that. I get to fool around with that item, that robe. So we will, we will see if how this goes, and if people get tired of Crawl, which I don't think they will, but if they do, we can always pivot to a different game on Sundays. Past decade, yeah, fair enough. It's gotten worse. It's gotten like much worse over the last few years, but correct, past decade. But anyway, yeah, look at the page on my Twitch for the schedule. It's going to be changing over the next few days. I don't know exactly. I haven't decided exactly how often I'm going to be streaming, but I'm aiming for at least 3 times a week. Like 1 to 2 hour stream about 3 times a week. I don't know if I want to change too much too fast and commit to doing it every day. But what I would really like to do is have certain days devoted to certain things. So Sunday for Crawl, trying like new roguelite games perhaps on certain days, or even classical roguelikes. And I definitely want to get that podcast thing going where it's just me chatting, bringing on guests, talking about current events, maybe a little bit of politics, maybe even doing like a D&D session on those days. There's this guy in my Discord who really wants to DM something, and I told him I would, and then I bailed on it because I'm a jerk, and I want to make that up to him, and I would like to I'd like to stream that if we can get the people for it. So shout out to Dump Truck. Sorry, I got busy in my defense, but will I continue streaming at Europe friendly hours? Yes, that's actually something I considered as well. Soup Sundays are going to be more, I guess, of a more of an American friendly thing. I guess 6 p.m. EST is probably pretty bad for Euros, but I would like to have at least one of my weekly streams something that is friendly for Europeans, because I have a pretty good sized European audience. Some of my favorite viewers are European. I don't want to screw them over, and I feel like maybe I should do Crawl 2 times a week. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like, the main draw for this channel is that I'm the streak guy. Oh yeah, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Stay up a little bit late. I mean, it is Sunday, though, so if people have to work the next day, it's kind of perhaps a hard sell for some people. I know if I was waking up at, like, 6 a.m. for a job, I would not want to stay up past midnight to watch a gentleman move a little man around on the tiles. Well, thank you, Awakened. I appreciate you coming by the stream, even if it's late. And yeah, I don't know. I really want. I think the next big thing that I'm going to schedule is either going to be the podcast idea, or it's going to be the sort of unspecified game roguelite day, because I do really want to get that Battle Brothers run going, because I have never, I guess, finished the game, whatever you want to call it. I've never like gone through all the content on stream And I don't think I've even gone through all the content legitimately in an Iron Man run, just off stream either. So it would be interesting. Yeah, I am morbidly a beast. No, I am not. But anyway, no, I appreciate you guys coming by. Thank you for watching. Give me a follow because I will be doing this more often now. And keep an eye on the schedule page. And also check out the Crawl Cosplay Discord, which you can find a link to that in my latest YouTube videos about it, or you could ask Raga himself in the chat. Alrighty, I think that's about it. Until next time, I am signing out. Formerly Malcolm Rose, now I am Dusty Ridgeman. I changed my name because I like to write, read my books and you can be my friend. They're free on my site, but I'd like some cash if you'd like to be generous. Cha-ching. Finding your way to my heart can be done, but it's my wallet that you have to touch. Dusty Ridgeman.